I don't call this my busy garden for nothing, you know. I've had a really busy time since last we spoke, and I'll start with the greenhouse. So let's start by talking about the shading. I've got the shading up, and I've got shading on both sides of the greenhouse because the sun's getting quite high and it's starting to scorch my seedlings. This is stuff I've had for a couple of years. This is new stuff. Got it off eBay, £10 a metre, and it's a metre wide, so it's really cheap. I've doubled up on this side to give the required protection, but even so, it's still a lot cheaper than the stuff you'll find in garden centres. I did find something a bit naughty on Amazon though. There was something which looked as though it was 5 metres by 6 metres for £15, and then you looked really closely and there was a full stop before the 6. Can't help feeling that the omission of that 0 was a bit deliberate. Over here I've got my sweet corn planted in little pots, and one little chappie's already poking his head up. I've got some broccoli that I planted a few weeks ago, and a couple of cauliflowers too. The first lot got very badly scorched one day. There's 3 tomato plants grown from seed, and half a dozen chilli plants. Not going to go mad this year. Down here I've got some echinacea and scabious, then my runner beans, and then some more cauliflower and broccoli. I'm hoping to get about 8 or 10 broccoli and cauliflower plants each, and I'll plant them in the one bed. The idea being that I can cover the entire bed and protect them from the cabbage whites, which devastated my broccoli crop one year. Maybe you remember this bed, and maybe you remember me saying that I might turn it into a geranium bed. Well, look at it now. There's the geranium I planted the other week. It's doing most excellent. You can also see my giant poppies are still in there, and another geranium plant, and then at the back of that there are some lilies. In fact, I've got 2 clumps of lilies. It's taken me quite a while to dig this lot out, about an hour a day for the last week or so. And as I've come across the geraniums, I've carefully separated them out and spaced them where I want them in the bed. Short ones at the front, much bigger geraniums at the back. And I've used the lilies as well to add an extra dimension of colour to the garden come late summer, early autumn. Now then, that far corner. I still need to dig this far corner, and I will get round to it in the next week if the weather allows me. But this is the cherry tree. I mean, to me it looks a bit pants. It's all sort of thin and spindly. Man and I have been talking about putting a patio in that corner, and there's 2 things. One is the tree's a bit pants, and 2, it's slightly in the way of where we want to put the patio. So don't be surprised if that tree disappears fairly soon. I quite fancy a nice big dark-leaved acer in that corner. We used to have a couple in France and I really loved those trees. Maybe we can have one here. And look, the grass is growing. Alright, it's a bit patchy at the moment, and it actually needs a couple of douses of rain, but it's on its way. I'm going to be giving my lawn a lot more TLC this year to try and get rid of all the weeds and moss that's in it and have a fairly decent lawn. So I've got my rake, and I'm going to rake out the moss. It's quite surprising just how much of this stuff gets itself into the lawn. Look at it. Put it in my basket. If I was a railway modeller, I'd love this stuff, because railway modelers use it to simulate small trees and other vegetation. How does she know that? I'm sure you're asking yourself. That, my friends, is for me to know, and for you to wonder. Moss is a bit of a nuisance in the garden, but it has so many uses. I mean, Women have been using moss for millennia on a monthly basis. Birds love it because it lines their nests to keep it warm. And it loves to grow in my lawn. Half an hour later, and most of this has come from under the apple tree. And then to kill any remaining moss, I'm using a soluble moss killer. Now I'll probably end up with some bare patches, but that's okay because I can put grass seed there once all the dead moss has been raked out. And it'll be easier to see once it's blackened as well. Oh, thank you very much. Another task I've been busy this week has been hunting down dandelions in the lawn and using this device to get them out. Here's one that's about to flower. Where's the centre? It's there. Bodge. Out you come. Ha ha! Cha-ching! Panny liked it too. And then it's important to fill in the hole with a bit of topsoil. You know, when you start looking for dandelions in the garden, it's amazing just how many you can find. Pear blossoms out. Apple blossoms nearly out on my transplanted trees, which seem to have survived the move. And I've even got a little bit of plum blossom out. I've got a lovely display of tulips again this year. And the blossoms appearing on my Japanese crabapple too. Well, that's all I've got time for this week, and as usual, my hands are disgustingly filthy. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.